Mrs.情シスのミーがお送りします。情報セキュリティ10大脅威2025を英語で学ぶです。この動画では、独立行政法人情報処理推進機構が発表した情報セキュリティ10大脅威2025の資料をもとに AI 等を活用して作成した動画です。英語の勉強の教材としてもぜひご活用ください。本日は、情報セキュリティ10大脅威2025組織編より、第3位のシステムの脆弱性を突いた攻撃についての解説動画です。それではどうぞ。
Let's talk about a threat that moves so fast, most organizations can't even see it coming. We're diving into the hidden danger of a single software vulnerability and how, in the blink of an eye, it can lead to absolute disaster.
Just think about that for a second. One tiny, undiscovered mistake in some code gets found by an attacker, and less than 24 hours later, they don't just have a foot in the door, they have complete control of your entire network. This isn't some movie plot. This is the new reality of cybersecurity. The moment a flaw is found, a clock starts ticking. Let's see just how fast it unfolds in a real-world crisis.
So, take the recent Palo Alto Networks incident. On April 12th, a critical zero-day vulnerability was announced. A zero-day basically means there was zero time to prepare. No patch was available when it was found. Just hours later, attackers had already figured out the problem and built working code to exploit it. And then, within a few days, that code was being used in attacks all over the world. The speed is it's breathtaking. To really get a handle on the risk here, we need to look at the anatomy of these attacks. So we're going to break down a few recent examples that show just how different and how dangerous these vulnerabilities can really be.
Okay, first up is that Palo Alto Networks case we just mentioned. The vulnerability was found in PanOS, and specifically in a feature called Global Protect. Now, this is a tool that tons of companies use to give their employees secure remote access. The irony? A component that was built for security became the very way attackers got in.
So, what did this flaw actually let attackers do? Well, here's the crucial part. They could run any code they wanted with root privileges. Now, if you're not familiar with what root means, think of it as the keys to the entire kingdom. It is the highest possible level of control on a system. It means the attacker doesn't just have access, they own the device completely. To put a number on the danger, security experts use a scale from 0 to 10 called the CVSS score. This flaw, it was rated a perfect 10.0. It literally does not get any more critical than that. This was a 5-alarm fire for security teams everywhere.
But here's the thing. The threat isn't just about brand new, shiny zero-day flaws. What's really shocking is that sometimes the biggest dangers are ancient history. I'm talking about a vulnerability in PHP, a super common web programming language that was first discovered way back in 2012. You heard that right, 2012. And guess what? It's still being used in major attacks today.
And this is where the danger really hits home. Attackers are taking this old, dusty flaw and using it to install web shells, which are basically permanent backdoors into a server. And from there, they unleash modern, devastating ransomware like Tell You the Pass. So you've got a decade-old problem causing a very, very 2024 nightmare. And listen, it's not just your typical servers and computers at risk anymore. In May of this year, attackers went after something totally different: surveillance cameras at a solar power plant. They found a vulnerability, hijacked the cameras, and held them for ransom. This just goes to show you the attack surface is getting bigger and bigger. And now, it includes the very devices that run our physical world. So, what have we got? New flaws, old flaws, and an ever-expanding list of targets. The problem is clear. It's fast, and frankly, it's scary. So the big question is, what on earth are we supposed to do about it? Well, the expert research gives us a really clear, comprehensive strategy. Let's break down that guidance, starting with the folks on the front lines.
All right, first, let's talk to the people who are responsible for defending an organization's assets: the leadership, the management, and the system administrators. If that's you, listen up. This is your game plan. Look, you can't start building your defense during an attack. The foundation has to be laid long before anything happens. That means having a formal plan. It means getting the budget for the right tools and people. And you can't protect what you don't know you have, so a full inventory of your assets is absolutely critical. And finally, your defense includes your partners. You have to choose vendors who take security as seriously as you do.
But having a strong foundation isn't enough. Security is not a set it and forget it deal. It's a continuous, ongoing process. This means you are constantly in a state of vigilance. You're hunting for the latest threat intelligence, you know your patch status at all times, you're rolling out updates the moment they're available, and you're regularly auditing your own defenses to find the gaps before the bad guys do.
And if the worst does happen, let's be real, sometimes it does, the job is far from over. Your response is everything. You have to investigate exactly how the attackers got in, use that info to make your defenses stronger so it never happens again, and follow the proper channels for reporting the incident.
Okay, let's pivot for a second. Security isn't just on the shoulders of the user. It really starts with the people who build the software in the first place. So if you're a development vendor, this part is for you. For vendors, your responsibility starts the second you write that first line of code, and it never, ever ends. Security has to be baked in from the start, which means you're rigorously checking every third-party component you use. And when a flaw is found, because it will be, you need a practiced, fast response plan. Not just to fix it, but to get the word out to your customers immediately so they can protect themselves.
You know, when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one simple idea. It's all about proactive defense. Whether you're managing a network or developing a product, the goal is always the same. Find and fix these hidden dangers before an attacker does. Because once they're exploited, that clock is ticking and you're already in a race against time.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question. And it's not a rhetorical one, I want you to really think about it. After seeing how fast a single flaw can turn into a total compromise, what's the weakest link in your own organization's defense? Is it an unpatched server sitting in a corner, a third-party software component you rely on, or is it a slow response plan? What's your weak link?
グローバルな社会を楽しく生きる。そんな日々を送っていただきたく、この動画を作成しております。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございます。よろしければチャンネル登録、高評価をお願いいたします。